Hey everyone, it's Scooter Wolf, and I have been waiting for this day for quite some time. I have an unboxing I've been wanting to do. I've been kind of waiting for some other accessories to arrive, and they finally came, and so I'm really happy to be doing this to reveal my new GoPro Max 360-degree action camera. I actually got this in the mail first, and then I was waiting for, as I said, other accessories, but they are finally here, and I can finally open these up. So let's do that. And not a moment too soon. I think we're about maybe the halfway point through summer, judging by how hot it is. Okay, so this is actually my first GoPro that I've ever owned, and I've used some before. The couple of schools where I teach, they have, I think they had like a GoPro 3 or 4 in their equipment room, and I used it when I was first motovlogging, when I rode from my home here in New Jersey to Canada, and had them on the side of my bike and had them on my windshield or my handlebars pointing towards me, and they're really, really good cameras. I never really got it as my main camera. I still use my Drift S, which I think is still a really amazing camera. Mainly because this is more boxy, and at the time I didn't know how you could really mount it to your helmet. I see now that everyone uses the chin mounts for that, and that actually looks really, really good. But I still kind of like my side mount with my Drift, which goes on the side of my helmet there. But I had a very cheap action cam, Tech Bean, that I got as a secondary camera, and I would mount that again on my windshield or my handlebars, and that would be my secondary camera. And if I was just kind of riding about town and going into Philadelphia, it would be fine. But once I started doing longer trips, and especially on the freeway, going up the speeds to 50, 60, 70 miles per hour, there's a lot more vibration, and the footage got to be very, very useless, too much jelly, as I call it, and I needed something with stabilization. So when I heard about the GoPro Max, I thought that is exactly what I need. And this is kind of, I suppose, an overkill, because I'm using sort of a 360-degree camera. That's really my secondary camera, one that's going to be on me, but it has a couple of different modes, and that's kind of what I want to talk about. So let's take a look at this. This is nice. It's got this little strip here that I can peel away and open it up. And I'm one of those people, I actually like to keep my original packaging. I don't know why. I simply do. Okay, so here we are. It's a fairly large camera compared to, I think, the, I want to say it's the Hero 8. And it has a nice screen on the back. It's got sort of a little protective seal over it right now. That is swipeable. And it's really nice that you can interact and change your menus and stuff like that. But one of the downsides is that if you are shooting something in 360 mode and you're playing it back, you really can't use the screen to move it about and do that. You're going to have to download the footage into either your desktop app or your mobile app, and then start working with the footage that way in terms of a 360-degree clip. But still, it's actually really good compared to the other cameras I have, where I almost never really use the screens, just to sort of maybe change the settings, figure out what kind of mode I'm in, so on and so forth. So this is actually going to be really different. Let's see what else we got in here. Open this up. Whoops. Okay, there's a little card there, and we have a basic user guide in terms of just sort of visual instructions and how to put things together. Boilerplate. Have questions. This looks like another sort of manual, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, just the cover. This looks like the manual. Okay, so this is actually good. This is what I'm going to have to go through with reading glasses, because, wow, that's tiny print. Getting old. All right, let's take a look at some of these other boxes, and I'm going to lay this down And we have another sort of, okay, something about protective lenses. So that's good. And this is actually really nice. A sort of a drawstring. Oh, I do have protective lenses. That is fantastic. Okay. I'll be careful and take those out. That's really something that is really important for anyone who's shooting 360. I really didn't want to put this down like that. The thing you really have to take care of is your lens. And this one has, as you can see, because it's 360 degrees, lenses on both sides. They are actually off axis. But if you are out riding your bike and you have this mounted, whether again it's on your windshield, on your handlebars, or somewhere on your bike, you're riding 30, 40, 50, higher, you can get a gravel strike, you can get a bug strike. Something can hit your camera, and if it hits the lens, that's it. And getting it replaced, GoPro's a pretty good company. It's been around for a while, so I'm sure they have some sort of program for replacing a lens, but it's going to be expensive. And not quite as expensive as buying the camera, but close to getting maybe a quarter, I'm going to guess. So that's something that you don't want to do. And so if you have protective lenses, and I didn't know it came with this, so that's actually really good. So I would say another plus. So that's what's in one side of this little box cavity. Things on the other. Interesting how you take it out. Aha! Okay, so here we have the transfer and charging cable, standard. A lens cover, that's actually very important. And more accessories, we have the adhesive sort of mount, so I can probably connect it to my helmet, or if you're a surfboarder or snowmobile enthusiast, whatever you're going to do. This is probably more for a helmet because it's got a slightly sort of curved surface to it, so it would go to the side of your helmet, which is actually nice to have. And of course, the battery. I'm probably going to get an extra battery because that's just par for the course. If you've done motovlogging, you're probably going to go out and you're not going to be doing short little trips while you motovlog. You're going to be doing 20-minute, an hour-long trip or so. Or if you're going on a long journey, you need something that might last the entire day. Not that you're filming continuously, but on and off. So one battery probably is not going to do it. Okay, so that's really about it for what's down inside here. And let's see about taking this off. Is there something I'm not doing? I'm sure there is. No. There you go. I'm going to take this little thing here off and push that out. Boom, there you go. Okay, so this is actually kind of cool. You got this little rubber thing. I don't know if that's just part of the packaging, but it does say remove. I'm guessing this is some sort of a locking thing. I'll have to go back and take a look at some of these things. And this looks to be a plate. And I don't know if this is part of the packaging, but I imagine it's useful. Again, I don't want to force anything. So I'll have to come back and take a look at it. Maybe something about what's in the directions. Pretty much just telling me what I just did. All right, that's fine. This is not what I want to do, is spend my time with boxes. Okay, so very nice. From what I understand, as I said, the two lenses are off axis. It has actually a really nice sort of rubber sort of texture to it, which makes it feeling very confident if you're holding it. You don't want to drop a 360-degree camera. Again, you want to avoid any damage to your lens whenever possible. And that's what the lens caps are for if you are going to store this anywhere. Take it out. I would highly, highly, highly suggest that you put the lens caps on. And that way you can be protected. Have a place to put them also when you are out there in the field and you're going to take them off. I'm not saying put them in your pocket, someplace clean. Oh, can't get that off. It's really in there. There we go. Okay, good to know that it has a very tight feel to it. Other things that are really nice about this, from what I understand, it has microphones on every side except one. And so I'm going to say maybe here on the top, on this side, maybe not on this side, and it looks like perhaps in the back. And so the sound quality, from what I understand, is actually very good. It's one of the sort of setbacks for the GoPros that I have heard that people have struggled with using external microphones and struggle with getting really good sound. The system still has not been perfected. I don't know what's up with that GoPro. One of the reasons why I did not directly get one. I've never really had any trouble with my camera, the Drift Ghost S. It has an external microphone, and I've used it countless times. I'm extremely happy with the results. I've heard and seen good results from the GoPro, but I also hear that it's a bit of a setup of having externals and having adapters and all these other things. And then, of course, if you've taken this and you're putting it on the front of your helmet and you've got all these other accessory packs around it, then you look kind of like a weird, I don't know, cyborg or something like that. And I'm not sure if that's what you want. It's nice that you have this, I'm going to get, say, little bag here that you can put your camera in. I probably might invest in getting a specific camera case for this. I think I did find it somewhere online, but I wanted to see what the packaging offered when it arrived, and so therefore we have it. I'm going to take off the mount here and talk about some of the other features that this has, which is really nice. And this is actually kind of a cool mount. I've never seen one like this before. I mean, I have, but just some interesting differences. So this is what I want to talk about. This little flip out mounting prong, if you will, which is really nice, so that it will mount in all of the GoPro accessories, mounting accessories. And I think that's really good. So this means that you don't have to have any kind of a frame that usually you would put your camera in, and then through that frame you would be able to mount it to any kind of like mounting accessory such as this. And so this is a pretty cool accessory itself. The only thing that I would be worried about is if it broke. So if you break this, is there any kind of a frame that you can put this in to help you mount it to this, or not? Or is it something that you can get repaired? I don't know. So you're gonna have to be very careful, as always, because it's a 360-degree camera when you're working with this. Trying to figure out what this is. Is this a switch? Yes, it is. So this looks like this will give me access to, this just slide out. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yes, so this is where the battery would go. And that's actually a nice design for securing it and locking it in place. And on the other side, here or maybe it's in the same place. Let me take a look at this. Wanted to see, okay, so yes, there's the charging port over here as well, and the SD card slot, and along with the battery. So everything is all in one place. And one of the improvements of the GoPro Max, because it's the sort of successor to the model before it, which was the Fusion. And I'm not 100% sure, I think the Fusion may have been their first 360-degree camera. It had some problems. One of the big drawbacks was that it needed 2 SD cards. Why, I don't know. But apparently they looked at what their competitors were doing over at Insta360 and were able to get it more correct. And so I'm happy to say that this is the new model, which hopefully will not have that kind of problem. One of the other reasons why I got this is, yeah, it's a 360-degree camera. This actually would make my third one. I have the Rylo, which I'm really happy with. I have the Insta360, which is the very first model. It's the cheap one. It does its job. It's not bad. The quality is okay. For a 360-degree camera, it's okay. I bought it used, $100. I'm not going to complain. I'm actually thinking about using it maybe more with my drone, because the drone doesn't really have any stabilization with its camera, so this hopefully will add to that. So let you know how that works out. But I really wanted to have, as I said before, a really good secondary camera, one that would be on me while I'm riding. And so this has a couple of different modes that you can work in. It has obviously a 360-degree mode, but it also has what's referred to as the hero mode, which means that only one of the lenses will work, and the quality of the footage is actually very good. It has sort of this extra wide view. I want to say it's called super view. And if I'm wrong, I will put it up here on the screen to correct myself. That's going to be a little, sort of for me, a bonus in terms of what I'm going to get. I can do time lapse, I can do digital still pictures, I can do digital 360-degree still picture. It also has this thing, power panel, I believe, which is a pretty amazing panoramic view. Something I don't really shoot a lot of, but I think I'm going to give it a try and see how that is. Fairly heavy. Might even be a little heavier than my Rylo. So again, handle this with care. You don't want to drop it and damage the lens. And so with that in mind, I'm going to put this back. So reading over the specs of this when I was about to purchase this, and another reason why I got it is I got a good deal. Rylo was offering this trade-in deal where you could take any kind of a camera. It didn't even have to be another 360-degree camera. It could have been a action cam. Trade it and you got $100 off. And that's what I did. And I actually took my Tech Beam camera, which I think I originally bought for about, $70-something. And so I did that. I traded in, didn't even blink. But looking back online, the Tech Beam company has a new model that is a slight improvement to it. And I was really shocked. On Amazon, it was only 24 bucks. So I went and got one. So I got another camera because I actually still kind of like this. And I have so many accessories that go with it. I felt really weird getting rid of the camera and having these accessories, and I'm not using them for anything. So why not? So I did cheat a little bit. I opened this up, but I wanted to see what was in there. It does come with a diving case, which is actually very nice. And I had used my other old Tech Beam in a swimming pool once, and it was perfect. Some really interesting footage. So it's nice to have this. I'm doing this right. There we go. Okay. And I might do it again. Why not? So for 24 bucks, that for me was a steal. One of the major improvements is that it came with a remote control watch. And that's actually really cool because I may have this mounted maybe on the back of my bike, on the side, something that I cannot directly touch. I can't really get access to it while I'm riding unless I want to do something really crazy and stupid. But if I can use the remote control and turn it on or off while I'm going, that's actually going to be pretty good. So I'm very excited about that, looking forward to it. Of course, transfer cable. It came with a generous amount of mounting accessories. And they probably, I think, are also universal for GoPro. I wouldn't be surprised. Tightening sort of wrench adhesive, another mounting base. So that's actually all really good. So now let's take a look at the camera itself. And you can see it's, you know, much smaller, much lighter in comparison to the GoPro, and it does have its own little, again, frame, mounting frame. This one's actually kind of cool because when I first got it, I didn't realize how flexible it was, and I can just take this in and out. It also has a nice sort of rubber surface to it, so you get a really good grip to it, some texture grips to it, and a very generous wide screen for looking at it. I've already kind of walked my way through it. The only thing that I am not happy with this camera is it did not come with any instructions. Right? No manual, no user guide, nothing. I've been able to kind of figure it out because I had the previous model, and so it really wasn't difficult to go through the user interface and try to figure out some things. It's pretty intuitive. Oops, I just turned it on. And this is sometimes harder than I'd like it to be. Okay. Yeah, the screen has come on, and again, you probably hold it for a few moments. It actually has stabilization, the one that my other Tech Bean didn't have, which is the reason why I got rid of it. And it's actually pretty cool. I was looking through some of the different sort of menu items, and for stabilization, there's one for motorcycles, and I've set that up. I can shoot at 60 frames, 1080p 60 or 30. And I'm going to do some tests. My other one, I ended up shooting it at 1080p 30. 60, I wasn't really happy with the way the footage looked like. And it says it's a 4K. I don't really think it's a real 4K. And at the time, I wasn't even interested in shooting anything that's 4K. With this one, the same thing. I think my last video, I may have accidentally shot some of my 360-degree stuff on my Rylo at 4K, if I'm not mistaken. And it was great. It was a little hard doing the editing. Some things were a little bit sluggish because of the size of the files. So again, I'm not really thinking about adding to that. But this I thought was a really good steal. Again, if you're interested in trying it or getting it, check out Amazon. Really want to look up Tech Bean 4K action camera. And it was on again, off again. Sometimes they would be out of it, and then I have to just come back on a daily basis and check. And the minute I saw they had it back in stock, boom, I just ordered it, and it got here with, I think, in less than a week or so. So not so bad. Okay, so very excited about that. And one of the last things I wanted to do was to determine how am I going to mount this now on my bike. I got a fairly large windshield, and I have the Rylo in some of my past videos on the windshield, getting some really nice footage. But when you look at things from the point of view of my helmet cam, you got this very large, cumbersome camera kind of obscuring the view. And I wasn't really happy about that. I might try and find a different way to mount the Rylo, or if I'm doing something with my helmet cam and this, because one, it is 360, I may not need to use the Rylo right away, or I might just have this and the Rylo and maybe the Tech Bean on the side somewhere, and maybe save the Rylo for more just, I don't know, special destination rides, if you will. But I wanted to figure out how am I going to mount this to it, and didn't want to use a suction cup, so I needed something that was a little bit more reliable, and I decided to invest in a different kind of mounting system. And this is what I was also waiting for. This just came in, and I got a ram mount to put on my brake reservoir. And as you can see, I haven't really opened this up. But it also came with the connecting sort of, I don't know, I want to call it a tube, if you will, that will connect to the ball mount here, and then a secondary one that will connect to this, and of course that will connect to various mounting accessories. So I haven't even opened these up yet. So we have this, and again, this is actually fairly standard. I might have about 2 or 3s, but this is a mount that will go on a tripod 1/4-inch screw. So you can mount it onto a tripod, if you will, or as you can see here, Open it up. This is the ball mount, and this is the accessory, so it's gonna just go onto there. All right, so I would take this, and they didn't Ziploc bag this, so I need to open this up. It's like Christmas in July. So cool. Okay, so yeah, this is just gonna fit into there. Oops. I'll cut that part out and just tighten it up. And you can see you can move it around to wherever angle you want, and when you're happy with it, then you just lock it down. Okay, and this part, also need to open her up. And this is the base to go into my brake reservoir. And I need to really sort of just take the screws out and replace it with these, and it's got some spacers in there, and once I have it in there, I might put it on that side, and then this would connect onto that, and I can have it at any kind of angle I want. My camera's going to be at any kind of angle, and I'm good. So I do have another ride planned. I was nominated for a 3x3 challenge by a motovlogger, Travel and Motovlog, I believe is the name of his channel. And very happy to hear about the nomination. And so I think I'm going to try and mount up all of his stuff and take it for a test ride and do my motovlog that way. But thank you for watching. Happy to share this with you, and I'm going to be doing some more testing and give you more updates in terms of how the mounting is working, how the camera is working, whether it's the GoPro or the Tech Beam. Any of those are going to be added in upcoming videos. All right, thanks for watching.